I got this board from Hobby Lobby, and I started by painting it using some Antique Villa from Wise Owl paint. Now I usually grab my boards when they're 50% off. I allowed that to fully dry, and then I took some blue painter's tape, and I'm going to start by just making a rectangle in the upper left corner. Now I really have no measurements, I'm just eyeballing all of this. Then I'm going to use the painter's tape to make some stripes down my board. So I like to rip off a small piece, and that's going to be my spacer. And then I'm going to lay the tape across the board to make my stripes. So again, I just use a small piece as a spacer. That way I try to make the stripes as even as possible. Now you want to make sure your board is fully dry before you start laying the tape down on it, or when you lift the tape off, it will just peel the paint right off. I took some Wise Owl Republic Red paint, and I covered my entire board but the rectangle in the upper left corner. I'm applying it with a small Klingon brush, but you can also use a mini foam roller as well. Once I had it fully covered, I then removed my tape. Now you may get a little bit of bleeding underneath the tape, and if this does happen, then you just want to let it dry, and you can take some sandpaper and try to clean up the edges. Now I'm going to use some Anchor from Wise Owl paint in my upper left-hand corner here. And I'm sure you're catching on now that we are making an American flag. And I'm going to allow all of my paint to fully dry. Once everything is dry, I'm going to take a 220 grit sandpaper, and I just gave it a little sanding. Now I did have to clean up some of my lines a little bit. I'm going to remove the dust from the sanding, and then I'm going to take some Wise Owl 1 Hour Enamel Clear, and using a Gen Foam brush, I just applied a coat of the 1 Hour Enamel. And then I allowed that to completely dry. I got these wooden stars from Hobby Lobby. They came in a pack of many different sizes. And I'm going to take some metallic silver spray paint, and I'm going to spray paint the stars. Now once my 1 Hour Enamel Clear had fully dried, I took some Wise Owl chocolate paint, and you can wet your paintbrush or just have a little bit of water on hand, and I'm going to mix it with the chocolate paint, and then I'm just going to paint on top of the entire board. Now it's important that you do your top coat before you attempt this. And once I had that covered, I just took some baby wipes, and I started in the center in a circular motion, and then I'm just wiping all of the chocolate paint back off. And this is just going to give it a little bit of an antique look. Once I was happy with that, I allowed it to dry, and then I took some of this metal ribbon that you can get from Hobby Lobby. It's $6.99, and it comes in a 9-foot roll. And don't forget to use your coupon if it's not on sale. And I'm just going to cut the metal ribbon the length of the white stripes. And I'm just using some E6000, and I'm going to attach that to my board. And I'm going to clamp it on the end here just until the E6000 dries. And then I'm going to add the metal ribbon to all of my white stripes. I'm using some metal shears to cut the ribbon. And I actually decided to add some hot glue to the metal ribbon as well so that the ribbon can lay flat until the E6000 dries. And I'm going to repeat that step for all of my white stripes. And again, the hot glue will just help hold the metal ribbon in place until the E6000 fully dries. And then I'm going to take my small clamps and just hold the ends down. Once I had all the metal ribbon in place, I took some Elmer's wood glue and the wood stars that I spray painted with the metallic silver. And I'm just going to glue them randomly in the upper left-hand corner. And then I just allowed everything to dry. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this idea. Paint products can be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can check out some other tutorials over on our YouTube or our webpage as well. Have a great day.